Americans slowed their spending from October to November, but still continued to shop ahead of the critical holiday season, brushing off rising prices and shortages. Retail sales rose a modest seasonally adjusted 0.3% in November, compared with the previous month when sales jumped 1.8%, according to the U.S. Commerce Department. It was a little weaker than most economists had expected, yet early holiday shopping, they said, may have pushed holiday shopping traditionally done in November up a month to October, with news of shortages and supply chain issues consistently in headlines.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but the White House had their daily press briefing, and the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, was asked about rising meat prices, and here was her response.
I think that the president thinks the way people across the country, American families, digest inflation is by price increases. And if you look at industry to industry, it's a little different. So, for example, the president, the Secretary of Agriculture have both spoken to what we've seen as the greed of meat conglomerates. That is an area where people go to the grocery store and they're trying to buy a pound of meat, 2 pounds of meat, 10 pounds of meat. The prices are higher. That is, in his view, and the view of our Secretary of Agriculture, because of, you could call it corporate greed, sure. You could call it jacking up prices during a pandemic. There are other areas where we've seen increases because of supply chain issues, and we're seeing those increases around the world as it relates to gas prices, oil supply, and things along those lines. So I would say there's some areas where we have seen corporations profit from the pandemic.
Turn this blathering,
you know what? That component.
The nonsense that she's spewing.
That's Kamala-like.
I'm trying to find it desperately.
The nonsense she's spewing makes no more sense than that poor girl who we vowed never to play her sound, such as girl. It makes it makes the same amount of sense. And you know what? I can tag Ellison on this too. We have the same problem right here in the state where Ellison goes after the egg producers because the demand in eggs went up. There was a shortage of production. Prices went up. He immediately chased down the egg producers and
about whom he knows nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Kenny, I think it's perfectly
I need
explained
Kamala to explain it to me.
Thank you. Well, let's start with this.
Okay.
Prices have gone up.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And
home run.
Families and individuals
are
dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
And we have to understand what that means.
What does that mean?
That's about the cost of living going up.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
Really?
Second in line.
This used to
Democrats.
be one hell of a country.
That is your second in line.
This used to be one hell of a country.
Just once on my resume, I wish I could have put head of meat conglomerate.
Right. You greedy bastard.
Your business card.
Mafia.
You meat monster.
Your business card would have been a giant meatloaf. Meat conglomerates.
Wow. D.C. Attorney
What does
General
Spencer think when he hears BS like that? God almighty.